everyone. Let me start this spectacular day with a quote by John Adams. If you inspire others to do more, to dream more, to learn more, you are a leader. And today we'd like to congratulate and appreciate all leaders who've really gone out of their way and made sure that their teams grow with them. A very warm welcome to Commerzify Presents Business Icons of India 2022, brought to you by Team Marksmen. As we look forward to this day to wish the very best to leaders who've carved a path for themselves, to leaders who've created that special something for their teams, this is going to be our way of saying, yes, you have done it. So let's get this spectacular show started right here. May I please request all of you to put your hands together as I extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Rajesh Khubchandani, co-founder and chief executive officer, Team Marksmen and MarksmenDaily.com. A round of applause as he steps forward, please.
Thank you for joining us. I know you all would be having your conference calls and your Zoom meetings and everything, and how tasking it would be for you all to take time out of your busy schedule to make your presence felt between us. But I humbly thank you on behalf of my entire team for making your presence amongst us today. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, whilst we ideate this event, we think about the hardships, especially leaders like yourself have endured during these last few years. Especially, there have been turbulent times, of course, in every business at every given point of time. But the last 2 years were especially very challenging. And I personally draw a lot of inspiration from each and every one of you all present here in this hall today. And whilst we do that, we also see stories which organization has been doing pretty well, making sure the bottom line is also not affected and the top line also grows. And of course, whilst the organization do not drive themselves, the leaders are the driving factors behind the organizations. So here today, we salute those leaders and we put together their success stories and talk about how they have ensured their organizations have sailed through these turbulent times.
To you a video message from another business icon of India 2022, Ms. Katrina Kaif, co-founder of K Beauty.
Hi everyone, and I'm delighted to have been chosen as one of the business icons of the year 2022 for K Beauty. I would like to thank the Marksmen and MarksmenDaily.com for bestowing this honor on me. I'm so sorry I can't be there with you all tonight as I'm filming, but I wish you all the success for the event. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time, and I hope to see you soon.
Let us now put our hands together for Mr. Love Chaturvedi, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, Reliance Securities, joining us on stage.
Hello viewers. In these times where pandemic is still going on as we speak, and with the war situation, the challenges that we are all grappling with is known to everybody. Mental well-being of the team has taken precedence over the financial well-being of the team as well, which continues to be the focus, but with mental well-being becoming a critical factor. So in that context, there are 3 skill sets that I believe that today's leader must possess. The first one is the tech-savvy humanity. In the today's digital world, where we are going to the enhancement and taking the world to a different level, taking care of the people and understanding that organization is for people by people is one of the key skills. Second, humble hero, being a humble hero. Somebody who can act decisively in an uncertain times, but also ensure that have the courage to admit the mistakes.
Let's hear it up for Mr. Thirumal Govindraj, Senior Managing Director and Member of Executive Board, RMZ Corp. A round of applause as we listen to that video message.
Constant upgrading your skill set, constantly looking at new avenues to upgrade from the organization standpoint and from a personal growth standpoint are what defines you as a leader and as well as defines what you bring to the table for the organization. So there are multiple events. In my previous organization and in the current organization, I think the current organization has given us a very, very large platform. Our chairman has given us the kind of exposure he's given us across our portfolio, and from a personal as well as from an organizational standpoint, is what has defined our careers. I think my one takeaway would be constant upgradation, constant customer satisfaction, and believing in what you do is very important for you to achieve success as well as achieve growth. It's not only all about success, but it's also about personal growth and personal wins, and organizational growth and organizational wins.
Let's put our hands together for yet another business icon, and Jay Kumar, Managing Director, Prime Securities Limited.
Take three, especially in the context of today's changing world. I think the first trait I would say is the ability to make yourself dispensable. An organization needs to be able to stand on its own feet, develop leaders within, and I think every attempt must be made by a leader to make himself dispensable rather than the usual practice that many leaders, possibly not successful leaders at that, have, which is to keep convincing everybody around that you're indispensable. And the whole idea here is, I think, to be able to make yourself dispensable. Another trait I feel, especially in today's world, would be the ability to understand, appreciate and adopt technology. That's something which I think most leaders of today need to be able to do. And if there is a third valuable attribute, it is the ability to be flexible, and given the kind of change that happens, to keep adopting and accepting change, because flexibility in orientation, contrarianism, these are traits that will actually keep you going rather than be fixated with your own thoughts. Well, strangely, the moment I finished my engineering from IIT Delhi, the advice that I got was, in life, use engineering as an approach to solving problems or handling situations, but don't remain an engineer. So despite getting a qualification, I think a huge disservice in some sense, but I think in retrospect it's probably the best advice, which is not to remain an engineer, but to take on and adopt other talents. With social media as active as it is today, I think the percentage of signals from noise is very, very low. So the ability to hear everybody, but ultimately to distill that and do what you believe in, is, I think, the way forward. There's just, on any topic there are a plethora of opinions, if you will, plethora of approaches. So I think many a time people lose that individuality and get swayed by the tide. I think especially in today's very noisy world of social media, it's really important to be able to distill. And if there's one trait, I think I would say contrarianism, which is to see where the herds and the masses are going and to actually move away. And success is not something that comes to everybody, but to be able to be successful, you need to stand out from the crowds and to be able to be, it's a lonely road, but you need to be able to traverse that.
Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Anuj Mathur, Managing Director and CEO, Canara HSBC OBC Life Insurance, and we have a message of acceptance from him. Let's listen in.
What we've seen in the last 2 years during pandemic, I think we have all realized that the need for protection is very much there. So my advice to people would be that, one, take insurance at the earliest. Don't wait for regular stream of income or whatever. Sooner you take, better it is going to be for you. Number two is the adequacy of insurance, because many a times we just buy small value insurance thinking that this is adequate from tax perspective or whatever, but that should not be the yardstick. Our yardstick should be what is going to be our future obligations, how much inflation. So we should identify our goals and then buy adequate amount of insurance. Being grounded is something very, very important, and particularly when you reach at a particular level, your ability to listen, absorb and act on it. So I think that's the biggest advice which I got from my mentor, and I stick to that.
Let's now hear it up for Mr. Abhishek Chakrabarti, Executive Director, DTDC Express Limited. A round of applause as we request his kind presence to join us on stage.
If
taken 32 years to build a business that's essentially touched the lives of a lot of people, and being in the express parcel business means that every day the number of people that you are carrying packages for, you're delivering on hopes, you're delivering on emotions, you're helping people grow their business. And as this business has grown, I think the relevance and importance of technology has been growing rapidly, especially in the last couple of years in a post-COVID world. What we can observe is that technology is not just a hygiene factor, it's a massive differentiator. And digital processes, digital systems, and a digital way of thinking allows businesses in our industry to actually reach out to a completely new consumer base, offer them services in a more bespoke manner, customize solutions for our customers, and go beyond being a service provider to being a true a solution provider, making that closer connection with our customers. So digital, I think, is a massive part of what we're doing, a huge part of our investments that we're making.
May I request all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Tarun Sharma, co-founder and CEO, M Caffeine, and let's listen to that video message.
We live in a market which is over-communicated, and there's a lot of clutter, there are a lot of brands, right? So at the end of the day, differentiation is the key to stay in the market. And to win in that market, there are a lot of things. I think if I have to put one word to a driver of any successful outcome you can get in a hyper-cluttered market, is focus. You need to be really focused on why you are creating this brand, the purpose behind the brand, the ethos behind the brand. And if you keep on executing very well and staying close to the consumer with that focus, I think in lot many ways you can be disruptive and can have the ability to win the market.
So it's now time for us to head into a short break, so do stay tuned. It is now time for us to take forward the Commercify presents Business Icons of India 2022, brought to you by Team Marksmen. Please put your hands together for yet another business icon. Let us now congratulate Dr. Pawan Singh, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, PTC India Financial Services, joining us here. Best wishes and more. While they couldn't be here in person, we'd like to pass on our best wishes.
My advice to younger self is constantly innovate, because today's business environment is very dynamic. It keeps on changing very fast. It doesn't only change in years, but it changes now in months' time. So one has to be on constant vigil, trying to keep on finding what are the changes which are happening in the environment, and constantly try to improve upon whatever is activity or whatever business is doing. That is very important. And because if you're not progressing, then you are kind of stagnating or even deteriorating. That is very important. Second important thing, which is very important for as a matter of personality or as a matter of character for younger generation, is that they should develop grit. Not to get discouraged in challenging times or when the problem comes, and they should learn to celebrate success and failure same way. They should feel that even failures are a learning experience as much as success. In fact, failures are more learning experience than success, and they should be able to draw their lessons from both and move forward, and not get discouraged when obstacles comes or problems comes. They should feel joy both in success as well as failure. If they inculcate to this kind of a habit, they will never get discouraged, and they will keep on, because times are never same. All of us face upside, downside in their life. So it is very important, if a downside comes, use that opportunity to, as a springboard to further, put yourself up rather than, feeling discouraged. So once a person is able to develop that matter called quality, his life force will be very high. And always, either success or failure, both will be used as a springboard for him to, move forward in life. That is my advice to younger generation.
Let's now hear it up for Miss Aditi Vyas, co-founder, Azafran Innovation Limited, joining us here on stage amongst your applauses. We have someone from her team joining in. May I request all of you to please put your hands together for sir, and I'm sure he's going to pass on our best wishes.
Honestly, what we are today, in whatever small measure, it's because of the past failures that we have learned to convert into a success in whatever small measure. There is no rule book. There was no rule book when we entered this market, and we still believe that there is no rule book. What we have learned, that rules change with time, and what was relevant yesterday has not worked with consumers of today. If we are asked to go back in time and tell our younger selves what not to do or what to do and not make those mistakes, I don't think that Azafran would have been able to carve out a niche for itself in this highly competitive consumer segment. Basically, yes, it's been quite a journey, and we would like to say that we have, for us, two things were the most important throughout the journey. One was being self-reliant. We believe being self-reliant is a key to a successful business. Know everything about your business, from making an invoice to packing an order for your customer. Be ready to be hands-on at any given point. It's your business and no one should know it better than you. And number two, of course, a good team, good teamwork would play a very important part as well. Being self-reliant does not necessarily mean that you're the only one who holds all the answers and decisions. You need a good professional team as well to carve a path for your successful future. Building a professional team, I believe, is like a reverse Jenga. Recognize the gaps in the tower and start closing them.
May I now request all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Gagan Daga, co-founder and chief executive officer, Great Bat, joining us on stage to accept our congratulations and more.
I think it's an interesting one. Think about it. Go a few decades back. If you would have told them that you can talk to anyone 1,000 miles away, they would have told you that you're stupid. You have told few years back that you can hold thousands of more music on your hip pocket, that would have been stupid, right? It is because of the stupidity of those passionate entrepreneurs, innovators, we are having a life what we're having right now. Being stupid is good. And it was their bravery which helped them transform our lives. They put their career in line, and we are living a life because of their bravery and their stupidity. So that's being brave and stupid. Being brave and stupid is the only way you can change the game. Think about it, right? Straight Bat, our vision is to make every player play better. How do you do that? We have a patented tech, a sticker which goes behind a cricket bat. Cricket being a first use case, it captures motion without camera. 5,000 odd players right now are playing with Straight Bat and getting better. 229 different towns of India are playing with Straight Bat. Let me give you a picture. You are playing right here in Mumbai, your cousin in Australia, he's bowling to you and he wants to bowl to you on a Lord's pitch. This will happen, not in gaming consoles. In real life, when you with a real bat, he with a real ball will bowl on a simulated Lord's pitch. This is where we are moving towards. And we won't just stop at cricket. We'll actually provide this as a platform as service for other sports entrepreneurs like us to use our platform as a service and build solutions on top of it. So PaaS, augmented reality, really giving a gaming experience in sports. That's the roadmap.
Let's hear it up for yet another business icon. Joining us on stage next is Mr. Bishan Jain, Director, Gold Medal Electrics Private Limited. Many congratulations to our business icon, Mr. Bishan Jain. And now request all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Kapil Jain, Director, Gold Medal Electrics Private Limited, joining us on stage. I'd also request all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Kishan Jain, Director, Gold Medal Electricals Private Limited, to join us on stage.
Here I'm really thankful to first to the Z Business for giving us the opportunity and recognizing us for this award, and to a lot of challenges we have been here today, and I'm really happy that things are going good here, and there are a lot of nominees here, and they all are set as a benchmark for the next holding. I mean to say that we're really grateful for all the awards what we're getting here. I would say vision for the future. Because if you see the company should not, as a company leader, one should think that they should not set the goals for the small, short period. It should be for the decades. And I believe in setting the team, letting them understand the vision what we have for the future. And I believe that great businesses are done on the same dream from all the organization people what we have. So this is what I believe in for the leadership.
Thank you so very much for being such a spectacular part of the show today. It has been a pleasure hosting the show for you. I am Isha Bhalla, thanking all of you for joining us at Commerzify Presents Business Icons of India 2022, brought to you by Team Marksmen.